Так, всем привет! Я, в общем, спросил у себя на страничке ВКонтакте, нужно ли делать стрим запуска Falcon Heavy. И, в общем, многие сказали, да, надо, так что вот я делаю. Вопрос, есть ли у меня задержка сейчас или нет. Для тех, кто не знает, короче, сегодня запускают самую большую ракету в истории, запускает SpaceX. И, в общем, мы уже когда-то делали трансляцию, смотрели, как запускали первую ступень, да, когда она должна была сесть обратно.
Stage 2 TVC motions nominal.
Это был исторический момент, сейчас, в принципе, тоже исторический момент для освоения космоса. И, ну, прикол, да, в том, что это будет важный шаг для освоения Марса. Они запустят огромную ракету в несколько раз больше, чем их все предыдущие. И все ее ступени должны вернуться на Землю. То есть это будет 3 ступени, сегодня будут одновременно возвращаться на Землю. И, в общем, у нас остается 2 минуты 40 секунд. Я немножко опоздал, потому что, ну, винда. Винда помешала. Сейчас подъедет мой друг, который очень-очень-очень-очень любит всю эту тему. Он инженер, и, в общем, я думаю, он еще много всего интересного расскажет. Вот, если есть задержка относительно камеры, извините, это просто микрофон и камера по-разному, ну, микрофон, а камера стоит отдельно, я не успел синхронизовать. Сейчас я чатик.
Falcon Heavy is on internal power.
Мимс, привет. Дилс, привет. Чатик читаю.
Vehicles in self-align.
Ground gas close as it started.
Чатик читаю.
Falcon Heavy gas loads are complete.
С Твича. Через сколько начнется запуск? Через 1 минуту 20 секунд. Вот, сами, в общем-то, SpaceX говорили, что запуск может быть неудачным, она сейчас летит без нагрузки всяческой.
M1D engine chill is complete.
AFTS is ready for launch.
Никакой коммерческий груз не везет, потому что это первый полет.
Falcon Heavy is in startup. Stage 2 pressing for flight.
Да.
T-minus 30 seconds.
Launch director on countdown 1. SpaceX Falcon Heavy, go for launch.
Короче, 20 секунд остается, я трансляцию.
Falcon Heavy is configured for flight.
T-minus 15, stand by for terminal count.
Да-да-да.
9, 8,
Side booster ignition.
6,
Ты пивко взял?
4, 3, 2, 1.
Seconds, if you can hear me over the cheering. Falcon Heavy heading to space on our test flight. Building on the history of Saturn V Apollo, returning past 39A to interplanetary mission. We're getting ready to throttle down for Max 2.
Нет, еще. Скоро будет максимальная нагрузка. Смотри, какие у него сопли.
You've heard the call out. Vehicle is supersonic.
Это щит у них же, да? И вот сзади на ускорителях это щит, который, когда
Side boosters are now throttling back up to full power. We're past max Q, the period of maximum loads on the vehicle. Next up, we'll be waiting for the side boosters to begin to throttle down prior to booster engine cutoff and separation 2.5 minutes into flight.
Конечно, да, самое интересное будет вот когда...
GNC trajectory looks good on the Falcon Heavy.
Блин, ну сколько там вообще жара. Бери стульчик, что-то.
Reports show that the M1D engine performance is nominal.
Impact engine has begun.
Side boosters have begun to throttle down in preparation for the upcoming shutdown in 20 seconds.
Иди сюда, Борис, не проходи. Стульчик возьми.
Major event coming up with side booster shutdown and separation.
Inside shutdown. Side boosters. Beacon. Center. We're throttling up. S1 keeps going. Still booster base box starting.
Successful separation. We're coming up on Miko and shutdown.
Stay set. Event recognition. This big burn looks good on side boosters. Background startup.
Coming up on fairing separation.
Center core side engines on power, also look good. Booster boost back shutdown. Center core boost back on shutdown.
Блин, я не знал, что, короче, это такая тема. И тачку туда загрузили.
Wow. Wow. Did you guys see that? That was awesome. That's the only thing I can really say right now.
Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. I got nothing else.
Oh, man. Recapping all the great things that you just saw there. Successful liftoff from the pad, successful stage separation. But before that, successful booster separation. You can see stage one. The two side boosters, pardon me, you can see the center core, and you can see MVAC lit up. Oh, my gosh.
Then the beautiful shots of Starman chilling in the Tesla Roadster. Just absolutely incredible. On your screen at the moment, you've got a few things happening. On the upper right, you've got MVAC-D continuing its burn. On the upper left, you have the center core headed back towards the autonomous spaceport drone ship. And in the two bottom screens, you've got the side boosters headed back towards Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, landing zones 1 and 2. The next step coming up for the side boosters and the center booster is the re-entry burn. That's going to slow it down from, or slow all the boosters down from way faster than the speed of sound to just faster than the speed of sound in order to reduce some of those aerodynamic forces and heating that occurs when you're moving that quickly through the atmosphere.
And as you can see on your screen, that re-entry burn for those two side boosters has begun.
Side boosters entry burn is shut down.
Side core entry burn started.
The center core in the upper left of your screen performing its own re-entry burn. You can see the edge of Cape Canaveral in both of the side booster cameras as those are coming in.
Some PY and NY side boosters have saved.
Center core entry burn shutdown.
And even though those look very similar, those two boosters' views, those are actually representing different boosters. And they're heading towards Earth. They're about to begin their landing burns. We'll hopefully be able to bring you nice footage of that.
Both side boosters transonic.
And watch for the landing lights deploy at the tail end of that landing burn.
And that landing burn has started.
Both boosters looking to be on track towards their respective landing zones.
Side boosters landing legs are deployed.
And the Falcons have landed.
LZ1 and LZ2, both side boosters on touchdown. Landing operators move on to 1 and recovery 2.
And coming up very shortly, the center core will be attempting its landing on the autonomous spaceport drone ship.
Check on your screen. Sometimes this footage goes out when it approaches the drone ship and the heavy vibrations make it lose signal. We're crossing our fingers that's not the case right now.
Stage 2, nominal parking orbit insertion.
So it looks like that landing is happening at the moment. We have lost signal. We're hoping that signal comes back shortly.
Oh, man. Yeah, as Michael mentioned earlier with the vibrations of the rocket and how it shakes up the cameras that are on the drone ship, sometimes we do lose signal or shakes up the antennas.
Oh, and we've just gotten confirmation.
We're waiting to hear what happens, and so we're listening in, and we're still waiting to hear. We'll let you know as soon as we find out. You'll know. People are cheering, but we'll get the call and know hopefully very, very soon how that center core is doing, whether it's standing up proud on that drone ship or not.
Meanwhile,
other two landings.
Those were absolutely gorgeous. Meanwhile, the second stage is continuing its trajectory towards Mars. It's all looking good there. John Ike, come give us a recap of the full mission.
He stands.
Well, if you could hear all that cheering, it was an outstanding test flight of the Falcon Heavy. Camera cycling right now. Live views coming down from low Earth orbit. The second stage successfully got there, and it got there as the culmination of a great Falcon Heavy test flight. We lit 27 engines, throttled the boosters up and down. We separated the side boosters. They came back spectacular simultaneous landing. The center core did its job. The second stage did it. Everything that you could want in a test flight we got here. Now we're just looking for the icing on the cake to find out what happened on the drone show. But all in all, an outstanding test flight for Falcon Heavy.
Wow, what an absolutely momentous occasion. Thank you so much to the range for contributing their expertise to today's launch, the FAA for the licenses to launch and land those boosters, as well as the rest of Falcon Heavy. And thank you to you, the viewers, for joining us for a really, really cool moment here.
And to find out what happened with the center core and what's going on with Starman as he makes its journey through space and all of our other launches, you can visit us at SpaceX.com and follow us on social media on LinkedIn and Twitter.
If you would like to join us on exciting projects like these, please visit SpaceX.com/careers. From the entire grateful team here, thank you again for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Take a look at the old man beating up the wrong guy. Oh man, wonder if you'll ever know who's in the best-selling show. Is their life on
Нет, они сказали с Unix. Сейчас же запущу. Один миллион зрителей сейчас в онлайне. 1 миллион.
Falcon Heavy ended up being a much more complex program than we thought. It sounds easy. It sounds like it should be easy because it's 2 first stages of.
Закончилось, да. Что интересно говорят? Там народ. Может, у них не все гладко пошло? Они такие, типа. Да, вот, короче, как это должно было выглядеть? Если вы не видели.
To the girl with the mousy hair, but her mommy is yelling no, and her daddy has told her to go, but her friend is nowhere to be seen. Now she walks through her sunken dream to the seat with the clearest view, and she's hooked to the silver screen. But the film is a sad thing for she's lived it 10 times or more. She could spit in the eyes of fools if they ask her to focus on sailors fighting in the dance hall. Oh man, look at those cavemen go. It's the freakiest show. Take a look at the old man beating up the wrong guy. Oh man, wonder if you'll ever know who's in the best-selling show. Is their life on Mars? cow's tortured brow, that Mickey Mouse has grown up a cow. And now the workers have struck for fame, 'cause Lennon's on sale again. See the mice in their million hordes, from Ibiza to the Norfolk Broads. Rule Britannia is out of bounds, to my mother, my dog and clowns. But the film is a sad thing for, 'cause I wrote it 10 times or more. It's about to be writ again, as I ask you to vote for some sailors fighting in the dance hall. Oh man, look at those cavemen go. It's the freakiest show. Take a look at the lawman beating up the wrong guy. Oh man, wonder if he'll ever know. Is in the best-selling show. Is their life on Mars?
Я тоже предыдущий смотрел. Ну вот, в общем-то.
Там не возобновили трансляцию?
Да не, она закончилась. Говорили вначале, ты пропустил. Сейчас долго.
You are looking at a live view of the Falcon Heavy. Yes, the Falcon Heavy on historic pad 39A at Kennedy Space Center, awaiting liftoff at 3:45 p.m. local time. Welcome to our live launch webcast. My name is Lauren Lyons. I'm an engineer in our flight reliability department here at SpaceX, and I am so excited to be here with you today, along with my co-hosts, bringing you coverage of the first ever test flight of Falcon Heavy. At liftoff, Falcon Heavy is going to be the world's most powerful operational rocket by a factor of 2. And today is the day that we attempt to demonstrate that power. And because it is a test flight, there is no satellite customer on board the vehicle today, but the fairing is not empty. We do have some very interesting payloads going up on this flight that we'll talk about later on in the webcast. We'll also walk you through the mission profile, because this ain't your typical Falcon launch. We've got 28 engines, 3 boosters, 3 separation events, 3 landing attempts, and there's going to be a lot of activity happening all at once. So this test flight is bound to be exciting one way or another. All right, we've got a ton to walk you through today, so let's get going.
Hi, I'm Michael Hammersley, a materials engineer in avionics department. We're very excited. I'm sure you can hear it. To my right, we have a live view of Falcon Heavy on the pad at Kennedy Space Center. Falcon Heavy is essentially 3 Falcon 9 rockets all strapped together, which means it can carry much larger payloads not only to Earth orbit, but to the Moon and Mars as well. So like Falcon 9, Falcon Heavy is a 2-stage launch vehicle. The big difference is that the first stage in Falcon Heavy is comprised of 3 cores, while Falcon 9 has only 1. Now each one of these 3 cores has 9 M1D engines, making for a total of 27 engines overall. Altogether, those engines produce 5 million pounds of thrust.
Ну, мы можем с вами уже прощаться,
18 747s at takeoff.
если никто не хочет поговорить.
So much power that we don't run them at full thrust all at once. So during ascent, Falcon Heavy will throttle its thrust up and down in both the side and the center cores in order to balance the aerodynamic and structural loads on the vehicle. So about halfway through the first stage's burn, the two side boosters will separate and come back to Earth for a simultaneous landing at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station. More about that a bit later. At that point, the mission proceeds very much like a standard Falcon 9 flight. The center core will keep on firing for another minute to burn all of its fuel, and it will perform a standard stage separation from the second stage on top. This second stage, with the fairing right at the very top there, the second stage is exactly the same as any other Falcon 9 flight, except we've loaded a bit more helium onto it this time. Now, that second stage will be sending our payload way out into a Mars-crossing orbit, which we'll also get into a bit later. But all in all, with a successful launch, Falcon Heavy is going to be the largest and most powerful operational rocket in the world. We're very excited to be launching it today. Let's check in on exactly how it's doing.
Good afternoon. I'm John Innsbrucker, the Falcon Principal Integration Engineer at SpaceX. We're currently at T-minus 17 minutes, 40 seconds and counting down. The good news that all systems are go for launch. We're working no problems with the SpaceX test flight of the Falcon Heavy launch vehicle. Now we're currently loading propellant on all three first stage boosters, and we began loading a couple minutes ago on the second stage LOX tank. Now this is the same method that we use on the single core Falcon 9. It just scaled to handle three first stage boosters. Now we're loading liquid oxygen and kerosene. We do that because in order to support combustion, you need oxygen. And in the vacuum of outer space, there isn't any. So we bring our own liquid oxygen, chilled and densified. You may have heard densified in the past. That allows us to pack the maximum amount into the LOX tanks on the Falcon Heavy. Now our fuel is refined petroleum, RP1. That's essentially just a purified kerosene. It's a safe propellant, easily available, has a lot of history. For example, the Saturn V first stage, flown from the very pad you see on the monitor, on the moon missions, used kerosene and liquid oxygen. Now the big news this afternoon has been the weather, and we've eaten up most of our launch window. Now we won't have the ability to hold the countdown any further now that we are into liquid oxygen loading. The good news is that the winds are looking good. We're working no issues on the Falcon Heavy. However, if there is an issue in the last minutes, we won't be able to launch today. There is a backup date available tomorrow. Now, I've said it before, launch is hard, and Falcon Heavy is no exception.
Across the country themselves. Now, Falcon 1 was the small relative to using modern technology a ton to orbit. However, despite its small size, Falcon 1 served a very large purpose. It was our roadmap to using modern technologies to engineer a vehicle that was not just more reliable, but was less expensive than alternatives. Now, we had 3 test flights of the Falcon 1 before we found success. But on that 4th Falcon 1 flight, it became the first privately developed liquid-fueled rocket to reach Earth orbit. Now, fast forward to today, and SpaceX has had 49 successful rocket launches. We have recovered 21 first stages, and we have reflown 6 of those. We have had 14 Dragon launches and have successfully reused the spacecraft as well. Now, our next step on this journey is just minutes from now when we'll attempt the first test flight of our heavy lift launch vehicle. Now, there have been many challenges along this long road, and it has not been easy. But no matter what happens today, it has all been worth it. Now, one of the many challenges we're hoping to overcome with this test flight is the recovery of all 3 cores of the Falcon Heavy first stage. Although we have demonstrated success with the recovery of a single core, 3 is on a whole nother level. So let's check in with Michael to get an overview of what that story may look like.
At
SpaceX, our primary goal is to enable people to live on other planets, most notably Mars. But it's hard to do this without dramatically lowering the cost of access to space. The best way to accomplish that is to reuse as much of the rocket as possible. So we've been successful at landing and reusing. You may be 2 heavies doing.
Liquid oxygen loading on the second stage is the last one to finish, ending by T-minus 2 minutes.
As it makes its way into space. Now, in addition to the Roadster, you might also catch a glimpse of a smaller passenger, which is a tiny little Hot Wheel Roadster carrying a tiny little Starman, which is a little Easter egg for today's mission. So keep started.
Both boosters looking to be on track towards their respective landing zones.
Side boosters landing legs are deployed.
And the Falcons have landed.
LZ1, LZ2, both side boosters on touchdown. Landing operators move on to 11 by 1, recovery 1 and recovery 2.
And coming up very shortly, the Center Core will be attempting its landing on the autonomous spaceport project.